So coming to the pathogenic microorganism, there are a number of microorganisms. Here we can see amoebiasis, then cholera, dysentery, then we have leptospirosis, typhoid fever, hepatitis, poliomyelitis, etc. So we will be taking one by one. So coming to the first one, that is amoebiasis. Amoebiasis is usually caused by a bacteria known by the name Entamoeba histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica is the name bacteria that is responsible for this amoebiasis. Sometimes you might have heard about this amoebiasis. It causes abdominal discomfort, pain in the abdomen, fatigue, weight loss, and there may be diarrhea or dysentery. Then fever will be there. Then bloating, there will be gas formation. So these are the major symptoms of amoebiasis that is normally caused by this bacteria known by the name Entamoeba histolytica. And the important reason is that it is entering our body by drinking non-treated drinking. Some people have the habit of drinking water directly from the tap. Earlier that was not a problem, but nowadays because of more population, more contamination, and the quality of the water may not be always good. So for some people it may not be creating any problem. For some people, even in drinking water directly from a tap may create a lot of problem. Then other is the second is a protozoa. Another bacteria is the Giardia lamblia. Giardia lamblia can enter into the water system especially in untreated water or poor disinfection. If the water is not properly if we are not properly chlorinating our water, that will be leading to this kind of problem. So there is a second bacteria known as a Giardia lamblia, mainly from drinking untreated water with no water treatment. Then groundwater contamination. For example, we are drinking water from a pond or from a well water. Then or other kind of natural sources. This Giardia lamblia is a protozoan. Especially certain organisms like beavers, muskrat create spawn that act as a reservoir for Giardia. So Giardia lamblia is an important type of pathogenic microorganism. Then it can cause abdominal discomfort, bloating, and flatulence. Flatulence means gas formation. So this is an idea regarding what are the different type of second type of bacteria known by the Giardia lamblia. Here also you can get an idea how this Giardia lamblia and other type of bacteria can enter into your system. Then here the another bacteria is known as the cholera. So regarding the cholera is a very familiar bacteria to you because cholera is an important waterborne disease. Nowadays cholera is rare, but still sometimes you may be reading in newspaper that cholera has been detected in several areas, especially sometimes in Cherthala area or other areas. Such news will be appearing in our newspaper or TV. So cholera is normally caused by a bacteria known by the name Vibrio cholera. Vibrio, that's the name of the bacteria. Now it creates a lot of symptoms like watery diarrhea. That watery diarrhea means from your stomach the stool formation, or while you are going to toilet, simply water may be losing from your anus. So that is known as a watery diarrhea. There is no solid matter, simply water. So that means a lot of water will be lost from your body. So that is the problem of watery diarrhea, nausea and cramps. When too much water is lost from your body, your muscles won't be having enough water, and that will be creating muscular cramps. So that is another problem. Nose bleeding from the nose will be happening. Then pulse rate will be increasing. There can be vomiting and hypovolemic shock. Hypovolemic shock means body contains little water. If the amount of water because our body is mostly water, except a little solid matter. If this water is not present in our body, we become very weak. This is the water that is keeping us look healthy and strong. So if water is lost from our body, after a certain while it can lead to death. So that is here the death can occur within a period of 12 to 18 hours. If unless urgent medical care and treatment is given, usually doctors will be giving and what is called ORS, or they will be replenishing the lost water in the form of drip. So this is how the cholera can be dangerous. It is a dangerous bacteria, but being a bacteria, we have antibiotics. So that is one advantage of bacterial disease. Bacterial disease can be controlled with the help of antibacterial drug. Then E. coli infection. There is another bacteria. E. coli is also a bacteria. Water contaminated with the bacteria. Mostly the most important problem that is created by the E. coli is the diarrhea. Diarrhea is the number one problem that E. coli is usually creating. Then it can cause death in immunocompromised individual. Immunocompromised individual means, for example, AIDS people. In these AIDS people, any disease can cause an illness in AIDS people. What happens is AIDS is affecting the immune cells of your body, and it is these immune cells which are helping our body to fight against either bacteria and virus. When those cells are not working in our body, what happens is that any bacteria or any virus or any disease causing virus can enter our body and create the problem. So in those individuals which having their immune system compromised or not working, such individuals are of high risk. So E. coli normally won't cause any problem to most of the individual, only to the people who have their immunity affected by any kind. Sometimes genetically some people may not have enough immunity. Sometimes some people will have for example, organ replacement. If a kidney or a lungs may be replaced or a liver is replaced, then they will be taking heavy dose of immune suppressive drug, so that their immunity will be down. So what happens with those individuals is that if they get an infection, they have to immediately take the proper medication, otherwise this kind of bacteria can lead to lot of problem in some. So those with the good immunity may not have any problem. Those with the poor immunity can have a lot of problem due to E. coli. Then another bacteria is the dysentery. And it's the disease is the dysentery. Normally two type of bacteria are responsible for it. One is Shigella and Salmonella. Shigella and Salmonella are the most common, and the type of dysentery caused by Shigella is known as Shigella dysentery. And usually this is entering your body from contaminated water. So there is a special type of dysentery. The bacteria, the dysentery produced by the Shigella bacteria is known as Shigella dysentery. Here the symptom is that frequent passage of feces with the blood. In case of cholera, the distinguishing feature is a watery diarrhea, very loose diarrhea, very loose stool formation. But here what is that? There will be blood in the fecal matter or in the excretory matter, blood will be present, and mucus, in some cases vomiting of the blood. So what happens is they will be destroying the intestinal lining, intestinal cells, and sometimes blood vessels may be damaged and the blood will be leaked into our stomach and intestine. That blood will be either removed through anus or through our mouth. So that is why blood in the fecal matter or vomiting or blood may be presenting during vomiting may be present. So here you can see that the different type of symptoms associated here. This is a cholera bacteria. What are the important symptoms? There will be vomiting will be there. So lot of then in the then it can basically in the case of cholera, what happens is that lot of water will be lost from your body, and there will be hypovolemic shock. Earlier I told you about hypo, that is a shock that happens in your body because of the loss of lot of water or because of the presence of less water. So cholera is dangerous. It can kill a person within 24 hours unless proper medications are given. Then another is the enterohemorrhagic bacteria, E. coli, EHEC. Enterohemorrhagic bacteria, E. coli. There is a special strain of E. coli. Most E. coli strains are harmless, but some strains like enterohemorrhagic E. coli are a hazard to human health and life. So here is that it has an incubation period of 3 to 8 days. And what usually happens is that stomach spasms will be there, diarrhea will be there, vomiting will be there, and sometimes hemolytic uremic syndrome, that is blood may be present in the urine, or hemolytic uremic syndrome. Then normally around 3 to 5% people can die. So that is why it's a dangerous type of bacteria, E. coli bacteria known as enterohemorrhagic. Here you can see that. So these are the important sources. From cow, uncooked meat and raw milk, fruits and vegetables can be a source. Then bacteria die when food is exposed to heat. So that is why cooking the food. For example, if you are eating food that is prepared in the morning, and after in the evening you are taking that without even heating it, sometimes it can kind of bacteria, many kind of bacteria can enter and multiply. The bacteria don't need so much time. Every 10 or 20 minutes it will multiply. So within a few hours, a lot of bacteria can multiply. Bacteria can multiply and reach a good number in the food. So fruits and vegetables can be a source. So this is a type of enterohemorrhagic bacteria, a special category E. coli bacteria that can be dangerous, that can lead to uremic syndrome. Then leptospirosis. In this leptospirosis, you might have heard about. In Malayalam we call it elipani. So it's a very common. It is caused by the bacteria leptospira. What happens is that animal urine carrying the bacteria, water contaminated by rat urine or mice urine. So it begins with the flu-like symptoms, that then it settles. Then second phase occurs when involving meningitis. Brain membrane may be affected. The meningitis is a meninges membrane, is a membrane present in the cerebrum. Then when these membranes are affected, it causes brain fever. Then liver damage can be happening. Then kidney failure can occur. So most of the time this liver damage and kidney failure is leading to the death of the person. So here also this is a bacterial disease, so that most of the bacterial disease have the antibiotics. So unless proper medications are taken, this can be dangerous and life threatening. Then another kind of bacteria is known as the typhoid bacteria. So in the case of typhoid bacteria, it is caused by Salmonella typhi. So Salmonella typhi is the bacteria that is responsible for typhoid fever. It is present in the fecal matter of the infected person. So normally what happens in the typhoid fever is that very high fever, 40 degrees centigrade. Here you can see that 104 degree. So you know, if the temperature is 101 degree or 102 degree, you know how difficult it may be for you. So if the temperature is reaching 104 degree, then it is very high fever. So such high fever are the speciality of the typhoid fever, and diarrhea may be occurring. The person will be having a lot of sweating. So this is how we can easily distinguish diarrhea. Then the symptoms can progress into delirium. Delirium means when your brain is affected because of high fever. So the brain may not be, the person may be showing some kind of madness. That is why delirium. Then spleen and liver may cause enlargement. Then in this case it can last up to 4 weeks and sometimes cause death. So typhoid is also dangerous, but then we have to take proper medication. Only with the help of proper medication typhoid fever can be controlled. Then in the case of typhoid fever, rose spots or red spots on the abdomen and chest may be present. So that is a characteristic feature of the typhoid by which we can easily distinguish a typhoid from other type of fever. So presence of rose spots or red spots on your body can be a sign that if the person is having typhoid. It is also a waterborne disease. Then we have hepatitis. Different type of hepatitis are there. Hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C. 3 different types are there. It is a viral disease. But hepatitis A generally do not cause much problem. But still it can cause abdominal diarrhea and fatigue may be present. And jaundice can happen, and sometimes some people may have a depression associated with that. So it is a waterborne disease or a foodborne disease, usually caused by contaminated bacteria. in either contaminated bacteria present either in the food particle or in our water. Then lastly, we have poliomyelitis. So coming to the poliomyelitis, it is a viral disease. Now polio is almost eradicated from the world. There are very recently, I don't think the government is not even advising taking polio because polio has been considered to be fully eradicated. So 90 to 95% shows no symptom. So here and 4 to 8% may have minor symptoms with delirium, headache, fever, and occasional seizure. Seizure means this paralysis. But 1% may have a non-paralytic aseptic meningitis. That is, the brain membrane can be affected, and rest have symptoms resulting in paralysis. So normally, poliomyelitis can result in brain damage and can cause certain part of some, usually your leg can get paralyzed, so that person may not be able to walk. So that is the most common symptoms associated with the poliomyelitis. Now that we have a vaccine for that, and it's a oral vaccine, very easy to take. So because of the presence of this introduction of oral vaccine, polio is no longer a danger. Now I think it has been fully eradicated from almost all the countries of the world. Here also we can find basically it is causing damage spinal cord, nerve cell damage will be there, and nerve cell damage cause muscle paralysis in legs, muscles of the abdomen, thorax, brainstem, and even death. So it is, but that is why it is this nerve cell damage that is leading to the paralysis of legs or paralysis of abdomen, etc. Then these are the different type of bacteria. So once again I will recapitulate. Poliomyelitis is the hepatitis, typhoid, leptospirosis, then cholera, then EHEC E. coli, then dysentery will be there. Then we have Giardia lamblia and Endemoeba histolytica. These are the different type of bacteria which are entering your body through contaminated water or contaminated food.